Greetings, fellow members in the Medicus. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Lycan Legion, episode 65, Closed Gates. What's worse in a fight in RimWorld now that there are DLCs? Is it still a Thrombo? I mean, no, but there's like... That question has too many factors to be answered. Like, are you solo? Do you have backup? You know... It's, I would say, effectively unanswerable without more information. Like, in a 1-versus-1 melee fight, like, I would say, like, a Revenant or a Devourer, because you can't win. Like, there's not a, you know, if you're meleeing, there's no possibility that you win against a Devourer in a melee fight. Or a Revenant, for that matter. They're just gonna... Devourer's gonna swallow you, you'll die, and then the Revenant's gonna... put you in a coma and you'll die. Like, you know, like, there's too many factors. Is it a ranged fight? What weapons do you have? What armor do you have? Skills? Are you a Psycaster? Are you not a Psycaster? You know, it might be a Sanguiphage. It might be one of the anomaly monsters. It might be, you know, just a Neanderthal with a club. Really depends on who's fighting. You should not be out of bed. As far as being bushwhacked by, well, it depends who's the bushwhacker and who's the bushwackee. It's not. I'll put it this way. It's not something I can answer. You know, it'd be like, what's the best fruit? You know, how long is a piece of string? These are questions that are either opinions or rhetorical. Honestly, I would say it's a rhetorical question, if anything, which is why I really can't answer it. It's not that I'm being cagey. It's just like, if I want to give you a factually decent answer, I can't. Why is your recovery sucky? The 10 quality is good. You've been bedridden this whole time in good quality beds. I might just divine intervention here. I don't really understand why he would never had a bad 10 quality, and the minute he got an infection, I tended with herbal meds without really any delay at all. So, I may intervene in the, for the benefit of, for his benefit. I'm considering it. Because for him to be taken from an infection, yes, it's a head infection. I think that's one of the worst ones. But for him to be taken an infection where he was not neglected, not for 1 second, doesn't jive with me, given the goal and condition of the series. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. Whether you like it or not, don't care. So Elbow's the only one with... Oh, right, because you dropped your weapon. Well, you used to be fast. You'll be fast once again, once you heal. I'm surprised Milo's not home yet. Taking a good long time. But this lovely little cave of... This is, you've all heard of Plato's Cave. Well, this is... a bit worse. Maxis is like, it kind of sucks to guard here, guys. It's like, you're right, it does. You were insulted and saw bodies. Shared a room with a slave. Oh, yeah, because the hospital is... Yep, that's my fault. This was a shortcut just so that the arena duelists would be put in beds there, but I can have this be a citizens-only hospital, and that will resolve that problem. Obviously, I need to incorporate a fire break for this cave, because there isn't one, and it's a problem. The new villa is still being worked on. It has some good progress. There's just a lot that needs to be done before it's really ready to go. You are going to get lung rot. So, temporarily... I'm going to unassign the guard spot, because it's not going to be safe to stand there. In fact, I think I'm just going to fire spew here, and then deal with the consequences of the fire spew. I don't have a lot of flammable buildings around here, so I'd rather get rid of these corpses the quick and dirty way, and then put the fire out. Because we already have this fire, pretty soon RimWorld will kick off the like global fire extinguishing stuff. And then I won't really have to worry about this. So what I'm going to do is forbid this door, assuming everyone's inside the base, which they are, so that nobody even bothers to try to go through that door while the corpses are removed. Yeah, that's gonna save me a lot of time in the long run, I think. And here comes the global rain. Cheers. Okay. So a lot of the bodies that were in the way are now dealt with. And I will work towards moving the remainder so they don't continue rotting and causing health concerns. And then I'll put Maxis back on gate guard. This will require just a little bit of extra micromanagement, but it looks like these folks are already doing it. Lung rot is no joke. It will kill you. You're in it for too long. Another raid? Or trade caravan? Trade caravan. Well, we just lost a slave who went berserk. To be fair, kind of went berserk due to neglect because we were busy, I think. So, like, maybe it wasn't exactly the slave's fault. But maybe there will be a chance to buy a new one. I'm going to keep foeing on the Western Senator's support, just because Cerise is injured enough that she's not moving at full speed. And therefore is a risk of not supporting proper. Most of the corpses cleaned up, and then once all the corpses clean up, we'll have to decide on a new entertainer. Which could be the slave that Mila just brought in. Maybe. So, Nakatra will have to be enslaved and then converted, because believing in the wrong thing. And the main entryway is almost cleaned up of corpses. Almost. No, don't drink water in there. Oh my god. Don't be stupid. Oh, you all are stupid. Yo, get the hell out of there, you dummies. There. I think we're going to shrink the zone so that, like, nobody goes in there and forbid the iron for now, because the people that have been servicing that area are in serious lung rot health risk. These bodies, I think what I'll do is I'll just have a dumping stockpile for the remainder of the bodies out here, just so that they're not clogging the gates. But yeah, everybody taking a sip of water in the most dangerous area of the map. Kind of hilarious. I mean, I could have overrode it, but I wanted to see it play out just because it was so dumb. Like, smells in here. Let me just kick back, relax, and take my time being in this building. None of my animals eat corpses? It's moot. Whether they do or not, it doesn't really matter, because the corpses don't stay fresh long enough to set up the logistics for corpse eating. So, like, hogs, for instance, will. But corpses will rot in 2 days, and the hogs don't necessarily prioritize corpses to eat over, like, grass or hay or whatever. So trying to set up corpses for animals to eat are just going to get the animals dead from lung rot. So it's not logical at all. The only way to make that work is if you have freezers, which in ancient Rome, we don't. Alright, trade. I feel like our dire lichen were in dire lichen form all day long for some reason. I'm not really sure why. But I have to wait 5 days to burn up these corpses because of the breath timing. No, they even have a high mate. Interesting. Mila, maybe I'll have you attempt to trade with the slavers. That's why I'm the streamer and you're the viewer? Yeah, I just wanted to explain. Because, yeah, obviously we have corpses and we're not using them, but it's because trying to use them in this situation would be way more effort than it's worth. Like, I would have to zone restrict the hogs to only a corpse zone and then, like, open doors to force them to not be able... Yeah, it's just like, no, it's not worth the effort. But what it comes down to is a lot of the times it's just not worth the effort. That's the best explanation. Wow, you guys are real bad. There's another Impid who's a fast learner. No health concerns? Yeah. Don't go berserk, or you'll die, just like the last one. So, we bought one slave. Oh, I didn't check. Oh, this high mate is a slave. I don't want high mates. They're not supposed to be in this series. But they would be really good at entertaining guests. So I'm going to make a little exception for Tiberius. The legendary entertaining slave. So Tiberius is already believing in the Senate, so I don't need to convert Tiberius. They can immediately be a slave, and they will take over for Tokus in the restaurant. So assign Tiberius. Means that we have a giveaway. And then the other slave is going to need to be converted, I think. I'll double check. The other one... You need to be arrested and converted. And you need to be arrested and converted. Alright. So, Akatra and Muron report to the prison. And then Tiberius. Schedule you. Yeah. Done. All right. Scipia, let's have you go deal with the new prisoners. So potentially 3 new slaves, but 1 immediately, and then 2 to be converted and then re-enslaved. So we have 1 that can do plant work, and the other that can do hauling, I think, or whatever we want. Get there a fast learner. Dismissed. Alright, Cerise got like cut in the heart, so it's gonna be a little bit until Fowen doesn't need to help out. But I think things are kind of bouncing back. The other thing is the gear. We had a lot of gear go tattered, and it probably has not yet been fully replaced. Oh, we're still making stupid gladiuses. That's my fault. No, apparently we do have the heavy shields. Does that mean... Oh, and they're using them. Okay. No, I think our shattered gear has been replaced. That's good. I'm going to do a quick health check of our citizens. So, 22 rot. 56. 76. So 76 is the worst, I'd guess. 52. 28. 21. Alright. Yep, it was indeed the worst. Tiberius the teacher. You are not wearing slave clothing yet. And that is because Elba needs to make the clothing. So go do that. About 1 more minute on the timer there. So if you want to be considered, just chat. Another thing that would be probably a good idea is to have a dedicated spare clothing, like storage, like a dedicated storage based off of the tailor here that is for colonist clothing and slave clothing potentially as well. So I'm going to do that. Do I still have all that wood yet to be hauled? Yeah, there's plenty of wood still on the map. Communal sleeping quarters seems quite full. No, there's still space. There's still empty beds. I'm not going to consider expanding it when there's room. Alright, giveaway goes to Kath. Well, you are going to need a little bit of a makeover here. So, say bye-bye to the beard. You can't be bald. Because high mates can't be bald. Well, that's I guess the least hair then? We'll tie it back? I don't know. You don't have any tattoos, so that's not much of a concern. But it's under a toque, so your hair is hidden anyway. I think we might want to clean up this area before we open to guests, but apart from that spot, we're pretty close to being able to reopen. So for now, because we're not actually opened, let's remove that shift. Oh, I didn't mean to do it like that, but yeah, let's remove that shift and you can... What is this? Not a home? Oh, right. Because of the fire. I was like, that's why we're not cleaned. That makes more sense. You have a long history of having a slave that is incapable of violence? Yeah, it's a thing. It's now a tradition. Alright, there's your body strap. Entryway looks a little bit nicer now. Guards? Max is assigned to do the guard spot. And we are going to be open for business. So in terms of work schedule, Kath, you are going to be waiting and entertaining kind of only. All right. Guests allow. It's still not perfect. There's still corpses. There's still lung rot, but it's like not going to immediately affect the people that are inside the town. I mean, we're not even fully recovered. We, like look at the trial rate, covered in bruises. In fact, let's preach health. Or your heart being cut open. Although impids heal slower, they just do, right? Slow wound healing, so like, that's just being an impid. Whereas Chandler Antler, you got like absolutely shredded, so it's a bit different. I haven't checked on the water in a while. Water towers are almost full. Okay, I like to see that. There was a big problem with that, but seems mostly resolved. Just me, or like has Outlu been psychotically wandering for like 3 days now? Seems like a long time. Senators. Hey, they even have beer supply now. Life is better for them. Our meat is not great. Since I lost a colonist, I shouldn't get any raids for a while. The adaptation mechanic is not the only driver of raids. So, no. It's not deterministic like that. For those that don't know, the adaptation mechanic in RimWorld is essentially when you have people downed or dead, it's like there's sort of like 2 raid counters, and 1 raid counter is kind of always increasing with like colony, duration, wealth, etc. And the adaptation mechanic is like a second bar that moves, and that second bar gets reset more or less when you have people downed or dead. Less so downed, more so dead. But that's not the only raid driver. So you can have people downed or dead and then be raided like within minutes. It just helps to adjust the chance, but it doesn't negate the chance. So if you want to min-max it, you can just regularly sacrifice slaves, have them punch each other until they're unconscious. Like, there's ways to cheese it, which I don't do. You can cheese the adaptation mechanic, and there's probably mods that will actually show you the raid chance and adaptation. Well, not raid chance so much as adaptation chance or numbers, because it's actually just a physical number that is displayed. But I don't affect my raid outcomes directly like that. I might freeze the quarrying so that our stone quarriers can start to stone cut. Does everyone have weapons that were dropped to the raid? Well, no one's unequipped. Whether they're the right weapons or not, kind of hard to say, but no one's naked. Everyone has a weapon. Whether it's the one they had before, I don't know. That's also, like, less important. As long as they got something to shoot down range. So the purpose of this here was to contain, I kind of wish it was closer to the tailor, but to contain the clothing that we're going to use for what we wear every day, which will also include slave clothing too. And I'm going to start to put our colonist clothing back to being re-dyed correctly and all that stuff. A little bit less important, I think. Villas maybe a third paved? Half if you include smooth floors. It's coming along. I probably won't end up linking these. So I think the clothing that we want... You know what? I should probably have single benches, in fact. So I want like one shelf of slave collars, one shelf of capes, one shelf of, you know, and include all of the things that our colonists typically wear, so that they can't be sold on the market, and that they're reserved in a separate location. A walk-in closet, if you will. Okay, Trent Landry with Trent Landry's recovery. That is the last of our citizens needing recovery from that raid. That's good. It's a good milestone. Both Marin and Nakatra's certainties are dropping at reasonable rates because they're not like iron-willed or anything like that. And the progress to the villa is slow, but understandably slow given the raid and the injuries that occurred. Senators are still being taken care of, which is good. And one thing that's going to happen is this next villa is going to significantly drive up our heating needs. So our heating is only just meeting capacity as it is now, and that won't be true when we add in, you know, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more radiators. You know, we'll need like 1,000 more capacity, which means even more wood. So this here is going to be for Colonist clothing, and I'm going to need to organize this a little bit better and unlinked it so that it's set up proper, and this is going to be for slave clothing. Ritual opportunity of Vulcanalia happening in about 2 days. I feel like I probably missed a lot of those ritual opportunities before. We're heading into autumn, so I'm also seeing warnings for like warm clothing. We don't have a lot of meat. Keep hunting. That legendary bow I think I'm going to give to Scipia. Trying to use the scorpions, setting them at mid-fight. They're kind of underwhelming until they're set up. And I want to move away from using handheld scorpions. Because they're just, they're not as good as they could be. And instead, I can set defensive scorpions like this. Much the way that I did the Grand Gate, but the Grand Gate isn't really functional just yet because of the lack of the exterior outer walls, and the exterior outer walls are going to take a while to build. That's not in the cards anytime soon. God sent me that raid because I missed rituals. Yeah, seems like it. We just built that already? Brother of Foen. Oh, okay. So I think this is our first group of guests post-raid. No, maybe they're not. Are they guests? No, they're not even guests. And Foen got inspired by his brother's arrival. Interesting coincidence, I think. think it's finally time to have a little bit more light in the pantry so that the non-wolfkin and dire lycan can move around more easily with the limited light, just because of all the hauling tasks we have. My goodness, they heal slow. Can't imagine trying to run a colony of just impids. You get raided once, and it's like, okay, please don't raid me for another 3 weeks because I'm not healthy enough. Although, if you're strategic about their fire breath, and just build fire mazes, they would be very easy to defend all but like sappers and breachers. And robots. They'd be sucky against robots. Good kiters, though. Hook a bunch of impids up with sniper rifles, and you can probably laugh at most raids. This is a huge map? Actually, not. It's not, like, exceptionally large. Alright, we have a bit of a raid of... Well, not raid, but animals coming in. Del Pierre, you're going to be man on the gate. And then we're going to forbid exit. Set myself up for a challenge run? Maybe. We'll see. The runs I play, like this one, for instance, was community voted on. That I do a, like a werewolf-themed historical run. The details of this were, like, entirely determined by my community. Right, let's have our ranged get some ranged practice. The footprint of this base is bigger than Wendy's? Yeah. The map size isn't like it's not the huge map sizes. This is, I think, 275, 275, something like that. I'd have to check. I'll open up the map settings to see. I'm just using a lot of it, which is why it seems enormous. Come on. Well, free meat. Not gonna complain about that. This is a 300 by 300, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, 300 by 300. I've played 4x4, the 400 by 400. That, unless you build like dead smack dab in the middle of the map, gets to be a little broken because it takes all day long to go from one corner to the other. RimWorld's really not designed well to handle that, but 3x3, if you're in the middle, not so bad. Of course, I am not in the middle, so the logistics of it are a bit trickier. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Lycan Legion, which originally streamed live on Twitch, November 17th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. A special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Lycan Legionnaires.